India may have won comfortably against Afghanistan, but this match was about much more than the final result. A historic milestone for Rohit Sharma, impressive debuts from two young bowlers, another opportunity for Reddy to strengthen his case, and a brilliant century from Gurbaz. There were plenty of stories hidden behind the scorecard. Let's break down the biggest talking points. Segment 1, Rohit Sharma's historic milestone. Even though Rohit Sharma managed only 16 runs in the match, he still achieved a remarkable milestone. Rohit became the first Indian opener to score 16,000 international runs. It's a static that highlights both longevity and consistency. Across formats and conditions, Rohit has been one of India's most influential batters for over a decade. Sometimes milestones can get overshadowed by match results, but achievements like these deserve recognition because they reflect sustained excellence over many years. Segment 2, the debutants steal the show. Perhaps the most exciting story from the match was the performance of India's debutants. Gurnoor Brar. Gurnoor immediately caught attention with his pace and bounce. What stood out wasn't simply the wickets, it was the way he generated uncomfortable bounce even on a surface that wasn't offering excessive assistance. For a fast bowler, that's a valuable skill. Harsh Dubey was also impressive. His variations and controls suggested a player well suited to modern white ball cricket. He demonstrated the ability to adapt, change pace, and maintain pressure. India's depth continues to be one of its biggest strengths. Whenever opportunities arise, new players seem ready to step up forward. Segment 3, Why Nitish Kumar Reddy Matters. Another player who attracted attention was Nitish Kumar Reddy. India has been searching for seam bowling all rounders capable of balancing the side. Nitish offers exactly that profile. Throughout the match, he displayed control, discipline, and reliability. These qualities often go unnoticed because they don't always appear in highlight packages, but selectors value them enormously. The more Nitish continues delivering consistent performances, the stronger his case becomes for a permanent role across formats. Segment 4, Gurbaz's Lone Battle. While India dominated much of the game, Afghanistan still produced a memorable individual performance. Gurbaz scored a brilliant century. In fact, it became the fastest 100 by an Afghan player. It was an innings filled with confidence, attacking intent, and clean striking. At times, he single handedly kept Afghanistan competitive. Even in defeat, performances like these remind us why Gurbaz is regarded as one of Afghanistan's most exciting talents. Segment 5, Gill and KL finished the job. When the time came to chase, India never appeared under pressure. Shubman Gill once again demonstrated why he remains one of the most important batters in Indian cricket. His innings combined authority with composure. KL Rahul then stepped in and finished the chase with typical elegance. Together, they ensured India completed the job professionally. Most importantly, India once again demonstrated the incredible depth available to them. The result was expected. The emergence of new options may prove even more valuable. Now, with another dominant Indian performance completed, there are a number of positives that deserve attention, not just from a results perspective, but also from the standpoint of India's squad depth and future planning. Let's get straight into it. Shubman Gill's statement innings. The biggest headline from the match was undoubtedly Shubman Gill. Gill produced a magnificent 154 and once again demonstrated why he is viewed as one of the cornerstones of India's batting future. What stood out wasn't simply the number of runs he scored, it was the manner in which he scored them. He combined classical stroke play with modern day aggression, finding boundaries consistently while maintaining complete control over the innings. As a captain, he also appears increasingly comfortable with the added responsibility. Managing leadership while delivering performances with the bat is never easy, but Gill continues to show maturity beyond his years. For India, that is perhaps the most encouraging sign. Ishan Kishan makes his case. If Gill was the architect of the innings, Ishan Kishan was the perfect partner. Having spent a considerable period moving in and out of the national setup, Kishan knew opportunities would be limited and therefore valuable. And when the opportunity arrived, he grabbed it with both hands. His century wasn't just entertaining, it was calculated. One of the most noticeable improvements in his batting has been his approach against spin. There was greater patience, better shot selection, and a willingness to build an innings rather than forcing the issue. These are exactly the qualities selectors will be looking for heading into future tournaments. The competition for places in India's white ball setup remains intense, but innings like this certainly strengthen Kishan's case. India's batting unit looks strong. Beyond the individual centuries, India's overall batting display was impressive. Crossing the 400 run mark in international cricket is never a small achievement. What made this performance particularly encouraging was the contribution from multiple players. The batting lineup looked confident, aggressive, and well balanced. When teams consistently post totals beyond 350 and 400, it creates immense scoreboard pressure and often puts the opposition out of the contest before the chase even begins. Gurnoor Brar continues to impress. While the batters grabbed the headlines, there were also encouraging signs with the ball. One name that continues to attract attention is Gurnoor Brar. His pace has been particularly impressive, consistently operating around the 145 km/h mark while generating movement through the air is a skill that every international team values. India has spent considerable time searching for fast bowlers who can provide genuine pace while maintaining control. Gurnoor's performances suggest he may have the tool required to compete at the highest level. Of course, it's still early days, but the signs are certainly promising. Arshdeep's importance. Another positive was Arshdeep Singh. Often in international cricket, rhythm can be just as important as talent. Arshdeep needed overs, wickets, and confidence, and he managed to secure all three. His three-wicket haul was an important reminder of his value to India's bowling attack. Whether with the new ball or during pressure situations later in the innings, Arshdeep continues to offer reliability and variety. For India, having multiple left-arm pace options only strengthens the squad further. The tactical side of the match. From a tactical perspective, Afghanistan's decision to bowl first proved costly. Once India established partnerships and began accelerating through the middle overs, the match slowly drifted away from the visitors. Chasing an enormous target against a confident Indian bowling attack was always going to be difficult, and ultimately the contest became fairly one sided. That shouldn't take away from India's performance though. Good teams don't simply win, they dominate when opportunities present themselves. India managed to do exactly that. Looking ahead, as the series progresses, the biggest positive for India isn't merely the victories, it's the growing number of players putting their hands up for selection. Gill is leading from the front. Kishan has reminded everyone of his quality. Gurnoor Brar continues to impress. Arshdeep is finding rhythm, and India's batting unit looks capable of producing match winning totals. And finally, as we reach the closing chapter of this ODI series, India once again demonstrated why they remain one of the strongest white ball sides in world cricket. The final match wasn't just about another victory, it was about individuals making statements, experienced players reminding everyone of their class, and India's bench strength continues to impress. Let's break down the major talking points. Yashasvi Jaiswal's statement century. The biggest positive from this match was undoubtedly Yashasvi Jaiswal. Despite not always being a guaranteed starter in the ODI setup, Jaiswal showed exactly why he remains one of India's most exciting young cricketers. His century wasn't just about runs, it was about intent, confidence, and adaptability. Whether facing pace or spin, he looked in complete control throughout the innings. What stands out about Jaiswal is his ability to perform regardless of the format. Test cricket, T20 cricket, or ODIs, he seems capable of adapting his game without compromising on aggression. For team management, performances like these make selection decisions increasingly difficult, but that's exactly the kind of competition India wants heading into major tournaments. Rohit Sharma's masterclass in experience. Alongside Jaiswal, Rohit Sharma once again demonstrated why experience remains invaluable. While the younger players grabbed headlines, Rohit's contribution was a reminder that class is permanent. His approach against Afghanistan's bowling attack was calculated and controlled. Particularly impressive was the way he handled Rashid Khan. Many batters around the world looked to simply survive against Rashid. Rohit chose a different approach. He put pressure on the back of the bowler and ensured Afghanistan never gained control during the middle overs. And it wasn't only with the bat. His work in the slips, taking crucial catches and maintaining intensity in the field, highlighted the standards he continues to set as captain. Prasidh Krishna's comeback story. Perhaps one of the most encouraging stories from the series has been the return of Prasidh Krishna. After dealing with injuries and spending significant time away from international cricket, every comeback comes with questions. Can the bowler regain rhythm? Can he rediscover confidence? Can he perform under pressure? In this match, Prasidh answered all those questions. His 5-wicket haul was a reward for disciplined bowling and intelligent use of his strengths. What makes him unique is his ability to generate extra bounce even on surfaces that don't always offer assistance. Combine that with the pace and moment, and suddenly India have another genuine wicket-taking option in their fast bowling arsenal. If he remains fit, Prasidh could become a very important player for India over the next few years. What this series tells us about India. Looking beyond individual performances, this series highlighted something much bigger: India's depth. Every time opportunities were given to new players, someone stepped forward. Whether it was the batters, the bowlers, or all rounders, the team consistently found contributors. That's a luxury very few international sides possess. When established stars perform and emerging players simultaneously push for selection, it creates a healthy competitive environment within the squad. And that's exactly where India currently finds themselves. A word on Afghanistan. While the scoreline ultimately reflects India's dominance, Afghanistan will take important lessons from this series. There were moments of individual brilliance. Ramanullah Gurbaz's century was a perfect example of the talent that exists within the Afghan setup. However, consistency remains the challenge. Fielding standards, execution under pressure, and maintaining intensity across 50 overs are areas where improvement is needed. The potential is clearly there. The next step is converting potential into consistent performances against top opposition. Bigger questions for Indian cricket. Overall, this was a near perfect ODI series for India. What was your biggest takeaway from the series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Keep watching cricket, keep talking cricket, and I'll see you in the next one.